Greetings all, and welcome back to Globbits Gaming Channel. Got some more World of Tanks for you. I've been asked in the question section of, or the comment section even, of my latest video, my M103 video, what mods do I use? Fair comment, I'll show you. And how to actually install them. Right, basic setup of what mods I use, and all I use is XVM, with the current setup you can see here, and Jimbo's site mod, and Gnome Fathers. Oh, is it Gnome Fathers? I can't remember. It's a gun sound mod anyway. You're going to need a little bit of knowledge on how to use a computer to understand some of this. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of searching files and all that kind of shenanigans. If you need to learn that shenanigans, you need to go get yourself on YouTube and learn how to do it yourselves. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where to get these things from. So first things first then, Jimbo's. Jimbo site modifier. Site mod. You see the thing wafting around in the screen with the circle and the black lines and all that kind of good stuff. That's Jimbo's. I've got a really simple way of setting that up, and a really simple way of setting up XVM as well. Right, Jimbo's will basically give you a reload timer and your health bar. The reload timer's on the left-hand side of the inner circle with the bar that's now hasn't got anything in it, and your health is on the right-hand side. In a little green bar there, and it's also got a percentage. I find that's really useful for myself, instead of looking down in the bottom left hand corner. Now don't get me wrong guys, there are lots of other different modifications you can get, but I like to keep it simple, because every like 6 to 8 weeks World of Tanks modifies the game in some way or patches it in some way, and you've got to install everything again. It's a pain in the arse. Alright, so all I do is I use keep it simple, use XVM. Now, to my understanding, what XVM does, okay, it gives you a few little mods. First thing it does, your map. Okay, on the map, okay, it modifies it from the standard map. It gives me the green arrow looking at my tank. The green arrows, excuse me, I'm a bit phlegmy. Sorry, not arrows. The green lines are, I believe, my limit of traverse with my gun. The centre lines are what I can actually shoot at. I'm not sure anyway. It's some sort of like where you're looking as to where your gun's facing sort of thing. The big circle, in fact no, that's where I'm looking. Sorry, no, I'm lying. The green thing is where I'm actually looking. I should really research these things really. But anyway, the green thing is where I'm actually looking. The two solid lines are my gun traverse, so what I can actually shoot at. So if I were to traverse my tank, okay, I could point it a different way. I'd know exactly where my gun was pointing in relation to where my eyes were looking. The big circle is the render range. It's the maximum range that you could possibly see something. Obviously modified as per your tank's view range, etc, etc. This thing also, the names of the tanks come up, and also it gives you a visual indication on the map of where an enemy tank was last spotted, which I can't explain to you how useful that is. Basically, if somebody, say for example, somebody now spotted something in towards the game, they spotted something in E4, and let's say it was a T-54, or I don't know, a Hellcat. They spot a Hellcat in E4. If he disappears off the radar or disappears from view, XVM will tell you that he's still there until he's spotted again. Now that can really help you later on in the game, so that can be very useful. So there's the map mods in a nutshell. Now, left and right of the screen is the friendly team and enemy team. Now all of their names, etc, are in colours. Okay, so what it does, I'll bring it up here. Your basic description. Alright, the 2K, 8K, 14K, for example, let's use Georgie for the moment. Okay, Georgie has played on average, well, about 8,000 K games, or sorry, 8K games, or 8,000. Okay, the next number along is his efficiency. That's how active he is, how much of a contribution he does to battle on average. Okay, now for myself, you want to be green for this. Yellow is average, green is above average, then it goes to blue, and then it goes to purple. Okay, purple is really good. So just for an example, the M7 player, Radar Parkosh, he's hardly even played 1,000 games. He's got really low efficiency, and he's got a 49% win ratio, and that's the percentage. That's the amount of games he's won. There is a similar section for this on the World of Tanks page, your own profile page. You've got a score in there that gives you all this information, but this gives you it in game. Now, the reason this is a good thing, the reason I like doing this, because, for example, if I come across the enemy T-34 player, Okay, let's just use him as an example. If I come across the enemy T-34 player, he's a 42% win chance, he's got an efficiency of 484, and he's less than 1,000 games, so he's a really inexperienced player. Notice I use the term inexperienced. He's not necessarily bad, he's not been playing the game very long. So if I come up against him, I know I can probably outsmart him, and I probably don't need to be that careful around him. Now, I'm not saying one at a time. I've been surprised many a time against players that are red. We call them, as a slang, we call them tomatoes, because they're red. Yes, very inventive. We're gamers after all. If I'm going up against a red player, I don't treat them with the same respect as, for example, I would with the ARL-44 player, because he's a lot better. I'm not expecting to see the ARL-44 player in a stupid position, for example, because he's a bit better than the guy in the T-34 on paper. Alright, and I'm expecting the guy in the T-34 possibly to be stock, but it just gives me an indication as to how good the player is. And you can do that quickly in the game. Now, you can set it up so that you can have their efficiencies and all this kind of stuff above their tank, but that just confuses the hell out of me. I use that more of a how good are the enemy players remaining later on in the game. Say we're down to like a couple of tanks each, okay, and let's say I'm against the ARL and the Stug and the T-34. If I see the ARL, I'm going to make him a priority. I think I need to kill him. At the top also it says chance to win, global, so all round. That basically means that the team on the left versus the team on the right, statistically, just based on stats, not on player tactics or decisions or anything like that, on base stats it says there's a 41% chance. Now, I have won a lot narrower games than that. I think my record is like a 25%. That's just a basic thing. Now, let's say for example the shoe's on the other foot and we've got an 80% chance to win. I'm going to go nuts and try and get as much damage as I can, because on paper we should kick the arse out the enemy team. So therefore I'll play a little bit more aggressively. The basic stats I get for the first 30 seconds of the game, I look at this and I just think, you know what, how am I going to play this? It may alter my decision with what I do, etc, etc, etc. Okay, so that comes up on the screen. What else does it do? Top left, it gives you hits, tells you how much damage you've done, and what else does it do? And that's pretty much it for this basic XVM setup. It's a very basic setup. I like Jimbos, I find it a lot cleaner. It's easy to focus on things. I basically, for my eyes, I can't see the standard reticle very well when I'm in a pinch. But for example, if I go into into sniper mode, I can't do it at this point because it's not my replay. But if I go into sniper mode, I just find it's a lot simpler. The circles are a lot simpler. I'll just let the game play slightly so you can see what I mean. So let's just have a bit of a look, see what the circles actually look like. If it'll work, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's a very jotty game. But as it clicks up, there you go, see the circles? Yeah, that inner circle there, that inner circle is basically where I believe most of your shots will go, and the circle outside of that is where so many shots will go. So basically if you're aiming, if you aim at the dot on the bit you want to hit, I think it's something like 3 out of 4 shots will go into the inner circle, 1 out of the 4 will go into the outer circle. It's just your hitbox, it's just not getting into the semantics of it. I'm probably fucking wrong. But basically, put the dot where you want to hit them, and then hopefully 9 times out of 10 it will land at the particular place. I mean, the pedantic ones amongst you will know the stats and all that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in that bollocks. All I'm on about is I need to know where to aim. Now, I think the black spot on the background of the tank is usually quite easy to see. That's just a personal thing. It is a personal thing. If you don't want Jimbos, I'll talk you through how to take Jimbos off. Alright, so let's go into the ins and outs for them. That's enough of that replay. That's a basic introduction. You can expand, again you can expand what information you can see by control tab. Yeah, so you can see all that if you want. The control key as a default as well will bring the map up into the centre. Can be a little bit of a pain in the arse if all you want to do is look at a zoomed in map, but obviously you can use the plus and minus keys to make it bigger and smaller. That's just the default setting. And if you tab, it will bring up the stats of the battle as well, so that's a bit of an introduction, but you'll figure all that crap out yourselves. So let me just show you how I actually install my XVM. Right then, how do you actually get that XVM mod installed? Now, what you need to do, by the powers of technology, or in the words of Blue Peter, here's one I prepared earlier. Right, you need to type in Le Courgette XVM, okay, in your Google search box. Okay, you need to go into Google and type that in. Now, you should get this, the World of Tanks Forum EU Fan Zone Shenanigans Mods and Add-ons. Click on that, and what you'll get is this this one here. Now, you eventually, once searching through the forums, you'll come onto this. Okay, all you need to do is download XVM Update 2. All that shenanigans, put it wherever you want. Okay, put it in your relevant folders. It even gives you instructions. Just follow the instructions, etc, etc, etc. Now, exit out the video. Come back and tell me when you've done it. Have you all done it? No? Okay, I'll give you 5 more minutes. Okay, when you've installed it, you'll get this thing. Okay, once you've done all the install, the unpacking, and all that shite, okay, you'll get this. Now, what this is the idiot's version, alright, of the World of Tanks installer. And the keen-eyed ones amongst you will know that there is a 2.6 version of this. But from what I can see, it don't make no difference. Okay, so I've still got the 2.5. I will update this afterwards. I can't see it being much different. So, all you need to do is make sure that your World of Tanks folder address or root is in here. Okay. Now, what I've got ticked, what I use for my setup there is I show win chance in game, and I put the Jimbo's box here. If you don't want Jimbo's, just put the test version thing in there. That's if you want Jimbo's, which is the fancy site mod thing. And then for the configuration, I just put configuration with ER, which is efficiency rating, which is the rating that you saw in game, the colours and all that kind of shenanigans. Alright, if you don't want it, just play around with this, alright, because you can come back to it and do it a different way afterwards. Okay, and all you do is press the modify button. That's all you need to do, and that will install XVM completely in the right folders and all that shite. Okay, because that's one of the biggest problems I had before I found this thing, was making sure things went in the right folders and backing things up and all that kind of jazz. Alright, this is what I use. All I do is I press the modify button, okay, it select World of Tanks installation directory. So find it, okay, I know where it is, I'm not going to go through it all, I know where it is, click on it, and then bosh, in it goes. Yeah, happy days. Oh sorry, not modify, install and update. What am I fucking talking about? Install and update. It downloads XVM for you, which is awesome. Just wait for it, and it does everything for you. All I'm doing now, guys, I'm just doing it, reinstalling it again, just to show you. Alright, now the next section, and this takes a few minutes, it's about 11 megabytes, but the next section is my gun sounds modification. Now personally, I wouldn't advise doing this if you don't know what you're doing. I'm not saying that I do know what I'm doing, because I'll be honest with you, I have knackered up 2 World of Tanks installs doing this. Personally, I wouldn't bother. The mod I use, alright, the mod I actually use, excuse me, I can't speak, is something called HR mod gun sounds. Okay, so all you need to do, let's just bring back Google. Alright, so let's just open up a new tabby thing. Alright, so we go to HR mod gun sounds. Oh. Version, this is just the latest version, 1.853. So you type that in and you get historical realism gun sound mod. Okay, and it's on Curse, and all you do, it's known fathers, all you do is you download it from Curse, okay, and you need to put the files in the right folders. Now what you will get once you click the download now button, you'll get a folder full of stuff. Okay, you get a folder full of stuff. Read the readme that you get and follow the instructions. Now if you can't manage that, do not fuck around with your World of Tanks folders. Alright, if you can't follow those instructions, do not do this if you're not confident in what you're doing. I'm not going to make a how-to video on how to do it, because guess what, I'm not that good at it either. Okay, I did it purely by fluke and having to reinstall World of Tanks twice after knackering up the folders. So put the files in the right folders, etc, 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 and then you'll get the gun sounds that I use. Alright, that's how I do it. That's the only 2 mods I use. I use the XVM Updater and the historical or Gnome Fathers historical realism gun sound mod. They're the only 2 mods I use. There are lots of other mods on there. Curse is a fantastic place to find mods. You can get them where you get little My Little Pony sticking out the top of your Hellcats and all that kind of stuff, if you want them. There are lots of different mods out there. There are some mods that I personally consider cheating. Things like there's a mod that paints the where to shoot tanks, you know, for the different components and modules and all that kind of good stuff. There's one that turns dead tanks white, which is really good. That's useful. So you know where the dead hulk of the tank is compared to where you're shooting, etc. But they're the only two mods I use, guys. So I hope that's been helpful. If you don't know how to install any of those things, there's loads of YouTube videos. It's already been done. Just type into YouTube installing the gun sound modification thing, and it'll come up. Alright, and just do it through there, because I can't be asked to make the video, I'll be perfectly honest with you, and I'm not that good at it, and I can't really explain what I'm doing, so I just fudged it and, you know, made it up from there. So, there you go, you ask, and thou shalt receive. Hope that helps people. I'm going to do some more gameplay videos, probably tomorrow, see how I get on. So, again guys, take care, see you later, bye now.